real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Richard McCormick thought the defendant was his good friend, but he now realizes that she spent the past 7 months setting him up for a con. Richard claims the defendant lied about having romantic feelings for him as part of the setup, and he's suing her today for loans and truck repairs. Defendant Tanya Gadsden says she is heartbroken to be in court today being sued by her good friend, but she truly believes Richard is severely addicted to painkillers. Tanya insists she has repaid Richard for everything he's suing for in court today.
Start with you.
Well, they say hindsight is 20/20, and I found out the hard way. The defendant, who I thought was my good friend, was actually for the past 7 months basically just setting me up for a con. We used to have lunch together, and I would listen to stories of her marriage and her abuse, and stories about abusive husband and health issues. She did have health issues, and she even told me that she had feelings stronger than friendship, which the friendship was strictly platonic. And that to me was just part of the con that she was setting me up with. And just to let you know, Your Honor, the last conversation I had with her was one of the last conversations I had with her. She said she was crying at first, and then when I told her I was going to go on with the case, she told me she was going to lie in court and say that she gave me narcotics in exchange, which is a falsehood, and I have proof in the text that was turned down, and I have a letter from my roommate who lived with me, and then plus I was also getting a new job, which demanded a background check and a...
Let's see it, please.
Background check and a drug test.
All right, let me allow her to speak. Ma'am, what do you want to tell me? Background?
I'm actually really heartbroken to be here because I'm being sued by one of my very best friends who I love very much, and I won't deny having feelings and caring for him.
Some tissue, please.
He's a very good person. We are here because I believe he does have a severe addiction to painkillers. I've never said he was a bad person. I've never said anything negative about him. I do believe that he needs some serious help. Rick is very talented. He's an ex-rocker. He's been on, I don't even know how many albums. He's always been very good to me and good to my children. He has asked if I've had leftover painkillers. I've had severe health issues over the past few years. There's been more than once that I've had, when we've been together, that there's been times when mine have been missing from my car.
How do you think he got addicted? Didn't bother to ask? You would think that that's what you would do first, ma'am. You would try and find out what the friend that you love, how he got hooked on the drugs, so that perhaps you can help him get unhooked. And so it may be something in his life. It may be something that was affecting him. It may be something going on, but all you do is criticize him. You want to tell me why you're suing her, sir?
She borrowed, well, I've got a canceled check here for $2,300.
$2,300.
And the reason is, she said she had to, there was a membership, and she had to have this in. She was getting a back check, payment check for where she worked. And there was she was on disability. And so she said, but I had to have this in by Friday or she would lose her membership. Therefore, I said, sure, okay. She was a good friend, and I did trust her because I've known her for 8 years. I've never seen her like this, but she was easygoing. She'd borrowed money from the past and always paid it back. So
when was she to repay you?
It was the following week. She was going to get this check in. It would either be like the following Wednesday or the Thursday morning.
For $2,300?
$2,300.
And how much has she paid on that?
Zip.
You're suing for $3,736. How do we get
okay.
the other?
Well, on top of that, she borrowed $1,100 in cash.
When was that?
That was on the 3rd of August, and that's here.
And
Well, here's the canceled check.
now we're up to 3,400. We have about
Yes.
400 more to go.
Yeah,
Truck
then
repairs.
her truck was in a shop being repaired, and they decided not to go through with the repair, but $336 had been actually applied to it
And she agreed
already.
to repay that?
No, sir. She actually, I think, according to this, they had the insurance.
Okay, well, if she didn't agree to repay it, then
She
doesn't know.
agreed to repay it. Yeah, everything.
All
And then she even had to
Okay,
fill
and
up
she
that
hasn't
truck.
repaid you a dime
Not
for
a
anything?
dime.
Ma'am, let me hear from you.
Actually, that is not true.
What part isn't true?
I actually have repaid Richard, and we
You
actually.
repaid him everything you owe him?
Yes, sir. I've paid him
Okay.
every dime.
Why
I
do you
owe him.
think he's suing you?
Why? Because
Yes,
he
ma'am.
doesn't remember.
Okay.
We actually.
You paid him all at one time?
Yes, sir.
When?
I believe it was.
You don't
the
remember either. You say you
18th
believe.
August. I believe it was August 19th.
You believe, not sure?
Your Honor?
You're not sure?
I actually have witness statements to
No,
actually
how did you
watch
pay 'em?
in cash.
Oh, 37.36 in cash?
No, sir.
That's
I owed him $2,300
Mm-hmm.
because he did write a check for a membership
Mm-hmm.
to the pool,
What about the 1,100?
and that it was not 1,100, it was 100, and I did pay him that, and I have a canceled check.
What's the total amount he loaned you?
$2,300 for the pool membership, $100 in personal cash, which I have a check for, and $336 was my truck repair.
Okay. 27.36?
Yes, $27.36.
All right.
But
you paid-
I have already paid him $100.
You've paid him how much?
100.
No, you say you paid him everything.
Well, no, in the canceled check.
I understand. Let's go back over what you say you've paid him.
Oh,
And
I
you
paid
say
him.
you've
I paid him
every single
$2,700
thing.
in cash and $100 in a check.
Okay, so you gave him a little tip.
We had dinner, and I
Okay.
paid the dinner bill.
And
So
was that discussed in terms of how it relates to the money?
I just gave him a flat $2,700.
It wasn't discussed as to how it relates to the loan?
No.
That's what we're talking about today.
I gave him extra because he had done that for me,
Because he had loaned you the money?
Yes, sir.
So it was like interest?
pretty much.
Okay, good enough. And she said she paid you $27.36 every dime that she owes you on August 19th.
Okay, in September, Your Honor, she sent me a text saying that she was, I'll call you when I get paid, and because I sent her a demand letter.
When was
this? Was
this?
the 9th, this was September 14th, a month later.
She told you she'd call you when she got paid.
Yes, and then on the 9/25th, September 25th, I had an offer, and my response, and I think you have this, a copy of this, she wanted to borrow some more money. And she said, the bank told me I can't, she wanted to cash a check, and I said, that's not true. I need money in the account to cover it. And so, and then also, and she says in the 12th,
All right,
oh,
sir.
I told you on the 12th. I told you when I wrote you, I miss you all weekend. As soon as I can pick up the money, I will get it to you.
Circle that. Sir, you clearly are either confused or something. I know that this woman who sat here and told me how good you were to her and her family, she cried about how much she loves you. I'm sure that she wouldn't get in here and lie about $3,700 that you loaned her. And she said it was only $27.36, and she paid you every dime on August 19th. But you present me with something on September 12th, where she says, as soon as I can pick up that money, I'll get it to you.
Oh.
Are you aware of that?
I have not had my cell phone on, Your Honor, for
That's not my question.
Oh.
Do you recall texting him that?
no.
Okay. So what do you think he's doing with regard to that? You think he's kind of fabricating that evidence, lying on you again?
I would probably say so. I actually have the owner of the noodle house where I paid him, wrote a letter,
Saying you paid him for,
the $2,700.
How does that person know?
Because she saw me. She was there.
Okay.
I sat there and waited
I
for
don't
him.
believe you. I don't believe a word you're saying. I believe you're ungrateful. I believe you defrauded this man out of his money. I believe this was an act when you came in here acting like you were crying and you loved him so much. And I think that you should be ashamed of yourself after this man helped you and your family, as you say. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you. She was my good friend. I've known her for quite some time. This last part I didn't know this woman, but she was a good person when I knew her, when I used to work with her. I thought we were good friends, and I forgive her, and I hope things work out for her. But I'll just never lend her any money.
I absolutely adore Richard. I love Richard. I think he's a great person. I have no hard feelings for him as far as that goes, because you don't love a friend and then just all of a sudden not love them anymore.